First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone while learned his truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The type of day lesson is the Genius Act, one step closer to the Motb. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we get started with today's lesson, have a quick news article here by CBS News. And it reads, it said, Trump signs landmark Genius Act, hailing exciting new frontier for crypto. Let's get a little bit more of this here. It says, President Trump signed a landmark bill to regulate cryptocurrency on Friday, hailing the excitement new frontier for the technology, said one day after the bill passed the House. Said the legislation called the Genius Act is the first major law governing digital currency and establish a regulatory framework for the 250 billion stablecoin market. Says stablecoins are viewed as a relatively safe type of cryptocurrency since their value is pegged to other assets like the dollar. Said the bill passed the House on Thursday with the support of the 206 Republicans and 102 Democrats. So that's all we're gonna get of this report. So they call this week crypto week, and also we know now that first Donald Trump said that he was going to ban CBDC, but this is right here how they're slowly bringing this system into place, which in fact is this beast banking system, which in fact is going to be run by blockchain technology. And one thing about this, what the men of law constantly been warning you about left and right. We're one step closer to the Motb, or the what? The mark of the beast, where you will not be able to buy or sell. You will not be able to do a damn thing without coming under this new, they calling it the Genius Act, also the Clarity Act, which in fact, whereby it's going to be total control. So we got videos to bring it out with a little bit more edification. So we are one step closer to Revelation chapter 13, 15 through 18. It's speaking loud and clear. And these what the prophets been telling you about. The prophets, starting with the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, and the prophets on down. I've been telling you about, for several years, starting with the Elder Tahar on down. And one thing, a great millstone. And one thing about that has the 100% true. We constantly been warning you about this time, the hour of temptation, the hour of testing, whereby, they're getting ready to bring forth this grain of rice. So your new money is getting ready to go under your skin. It's getting ready to be digital, programmable, also implantable. Even though that will sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. So this Genius Stable Coin Act, it's one step closer. So right now, they're he said hailing exciting new frontier. So this new frontier, what is coming, this new financial system that they're putting into place, whereby it's gonna be dealing with your biometrics, digital IDs, gonna have you under surveillance 24/7, face recognition. All these things are coming into play. Carbon footprinting, a lot of these things that we constantly warning you about. AI is getting ready to come into play. Transhumanism. We are constantly warning you. Robotics. That's why they already setting into place this fourth and fifth industrial revolution. Also, it's going to be working with the 5G and 6G blockchain system. So it's going to be how it's going to get powered by this blockchain. So I have a video to bring out blockchain a little bit more to let you know what blockchain is all about. So right here, We see that he's constantly rolling it out right before your eyes. And one thing about the men of the Lord, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. He's trying to get that advantage. What is that advantage? Total control. So he's coming with this new system. This is new beast system. And one thing about it's time to wake up. And one thing about this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. And we're constantly warning you left and right. So this here is all about total control. And one thing about to make you a petrol slave, or, give you that badge of servitude, that RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast. So the CBDC, these what they call so-called stable coins and many other cryptos that they're getting ready to come up with. It's going to be digital. It's going to be tokenized. It's going to be a digital dollar. So we're seeing right now that the dollar they are slowly phasing out the dollar. So the dollar is getting ready to be obsolete. You know what I'm saying? They shall throw their silver and their gold into the street. So right now, we're seeing right now they're transitioning into this new financial system, this new digital infrastructure. This is what we be constantly warning you about. We're very close to the second coming of our Lord and Savior. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua HaMashiach. He's getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So that's where we at right now. Our salvation is at the door. A lot of our people are constantly playing games, but all the games are about to be over. This man is getting ready to try to get that advantage, total control, but he's imagining a vain thing. And one thing about it, what is coming is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. We at the end of this man's rulership. We are very close to the end of this thing, and we're very excited. So rejoice, ye heavens. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is the Genius Act, one step closer to the Motb. So before we start today's videos, I have a quick precept. Let's go here to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. We're going to go straight to the point. We'll probably come back to this chapter also because it's got a lot of good meat in here. So we're going to just read verse 7, then we're going to go into the video. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. So it says here, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7 said, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." So the mystery of iniquity is the revised Roman Empire. We're seeing that this system, you know what I'm saying, they're constantly rolling it out, each and every day. It's at work right now. And also we knowing that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked only for a short season. And also when you go to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, it said the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath because he's knowing that his time is very short. So that we're seeing this iniquity, this mystery of iniquity already is at work. So right now, this man is trying to put this system into play. He's trying to fill his belly, his enterprise, his agenda, his mindset, which in fact is total control and make you a petrol slave. And also go against the will of Yahweh by Shema. So it also said only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. And out about who is that he? That's talking about Yahweh by Shema. The Lord is in perfect control. He will let in this short season right now until he be taken out the way. So we're in that time period where this man is getting ready to be taken out of the way. This man is getting ready to be chased out of the world. He's getting ready to go into slavery for 1,000 years. We cannot wait. So Esau is the end of this earth age, this age right now, this temporal world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follow, the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we in a transition of power. We seeing it. We're living in some very exciting times. A lot of people said that this is very far off. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. But guess what? It's time to wake up. It is happening right before our eyes. And also, when you go to Jeremiah chapter 28, I think it's 8 through 9, you'll know that a prophet was among you. We constantly been warning you about all these different events that's going to take place upon this earth, that our temptation is going to be a global event. Everyone is going to have to come under this subjection or this compliance. If you do not comply, you will be unalive, but one thing about it, we're going to constantly trust and believe in Yahweh by Shema. So let's read this once again. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7 said, "For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way." So we're in that time period now that this man is getting ready, his rulership is getting ready to come to end. And also the Lord is getting ready to destroy this man's entire queendom, which in fact is America, Babylon the Great. And one thing about it, so we at the end of this man's reign of terror. And one thing about it, we already know the modern day so-called white man, he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We see it right now, the mystery of iniquity working, loud and clear. But one thing about it, we know that the Lord is getting ready to end this nightmare. The prophet, we constantly been warning you, left and right, in that day, they shall know that a prophet was among them. So now, let's start today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
The finance industry upside down. Most people, they don't even see it coming. On the surface, you might think that the Genius Act is just about regulating stablecoins. And while, yes, that's true, it's really the gateway to so much more. It's about establishing the rails for a fully tokenized financial system. And most people haven't even connected the dots yet. Here's what happens if this passes into law. Number one is banks won't be the only institutions issuing digital money anymore. Nope. Now fintech and blockchain companies will finally have regulated paths to issue stable liquidity and asset-backed tokens. And this will do way more than just legitimize stablecoins. It's going to open up the floodgates to tokenizing real-world assets, like we're talking real estate, stocks, bonds, private equities, even invoices or fine art. Like, just take a minute and think about it. If you can digitize a dollar, then why can't you digitize a mortgage or a $10 million building, a birth certificate, a university degree, medical records, concert tickets? Should I, keep going? This is how the next era of finance begins. Fractionalized ownership of assets, 24/7 trading and settlement, lower fees, less friction, and direct access for retail investors to markets that were only reserved historically for ultra wealthy. And here's what I think. Don't expect Wall Street to just roll over and let it happen easily. The system, it doesn't give up power without a fight. And well, actually, I guess that's what's been happening over the past 5 years. But now that they got their ducks in a row and all lined up, oh man. While the Genius Act seems pro-innovation, it's also a way to contain that innovation within these regulatory walls. So yes, this is a huge win for blockchain, but it's also a move to domesticate the digital frontier to bring it under institutional control. And if you're smart, this is going to blow your mind. Blockchain explained in just 60 seconds. Imagine a digital notebook that's shared with everyone. Every time someone writes in it, everyone gets a copy. That's blockchain. It's like a chain of blocks. Each block, a group of transactions. Once a block is added, it can't be changed. This keeps everything super secure and transparent. Think of it as a public diary. Everyone can see it, but no one can mess with it. Cool, right? So next time you hear blockchain, just remember, it's a secure, unchangeable digital ledger shared by everyone. Got it? Awesome. Now go impress your friends.
Listen up. Trump signs first major federal cryptocurrency bill into law. And while everybody is claiming that it's a good thing, it's definitely not. This is nothing more than a bait and switch. While Trump is acting against CBDCs, his administration is laying the groundwork for stablecoins, which will fill the exact same role. It's the same control grid, just rebranded. Stablecoins pave the way to a controlled digital currency. Cash is going bye-bye, and a financial surveillance grid is coming, which means no privacy or independence. The act also instructs the Treasury Department to look into new financial surveillance tech, which includes AI monitoring systems, which means every transaction will be monitored, every wallet will be tagged, and eventually every user will be forced to comply. Welcome to the beast system. Marjorie Taylor Greene knows exactly what it is. I am not voting for the Mark of the Beast system, totally happy and content being 1,000% no. She even gave Revelation chapter 13's verse about the beast system. So while everybody has been distracted with the floods, with Epstein, with everything Trump, they distracted everyone enough to implement the beast system right under our noses. We have been talking about this for years. We were thinking the Democrats were going to do it, but their base was not big enough to pull this. So they used a Republican whose base was huge. If you do not realize what is going on right now, you need to break the spell of witchcraft, because way too many people are under a spell right now and you don't even know it. Way too many people have pledged their allegiance to the one person that is bringing in the beast system. And y'all attack the people that are trying to warn everyone. Repent and come back.
What is the next step?
Yeah, I would like to answer that. You are indeed right. COVID was just, like I said yesterday, a test balloon, and the lessons they learned from this, namely, how did they fail and where did they fail to get the people to just do what they were told to, comply, and they will take this to the next level. So we're talking, of course, about digital ID. It's in preparation. We're already talking about this. The Parliament circumvented itself pretty much by taking with a large majority a vote to not even involve Parliament. It goes directly behind closed doors to negotiate the digital ID. The next thing we will be seeing is, of course, CBCD, the digital state currency. That will be the ultimate blow to depriving us of all of our freedom and privacy. And and of course these 15-minute ghettos that I already talked about yesterday. These are the next steps. And once again, I want to make it clear, we're not talking about some future projects 40, 50 years down the line. We are talking about as in right now that they're working on. And once again, we need the people on our side on this to fight this, to raise awareness, and to let their government, especially the national governments, know they will not deal with that and they will not accept this. That's what we need the people for. Thank you.
So y'all, it's vital that you understand this and that you hear me very clearly. And it's vital that you do not overthink this and that you just take it for what it is. Y'all, things is about to change, and it's not going to be a good change. And I've been thinking about this for a couple of days now, about how our money system is about to change and how closely related it is to what Revelation talks about having the mark of the beast and how you won't be able to buy and sell except you have the mark. Y'all, this is so serious. This is so serious that we walking into this time. How, I don't know if you've been watching the news lately and what's been going on in the news about how a lot of government officials who do not agree with this new system that is about to roll out through our banks, they are standing up and speaking out about how CBDC, which is central bank digital currency, it is electronic currency where there will be no more cash, because cash is devaluing every day. The cash is less. It's becoming less and less worth anything, and so there's a lot of government officials who are standing up and stepping out about this because they understand that if we come into this system, we will not have the same freedoms that we hold today, that we barely have today. The world will never be the same again when this happens, and this will make it even more easy for Revelation chapter 13 to come to pass. God said in Revelation.
What's going on, everyone? It's me, Jeremy. It's July 15th, 2025. So the Clarity Act and the Genius Act, everything in the crypto, House bills got shut down. And there's a lot of focus on CBDC. CBDCs were trending, and this is what I've been telling you about. It doesn't matter what they say. CBDCs are coming at some point in time. They are building them for a reason. They've built their infrastructures around them for a reason. There is the Internet of Bodies, Internet of Medical Things. There's so much else that is tied to the CBDCs, that they are going to attempt it. And it does not matter what they pass this week. It does not matter, because if you haven't seen, executive orders can be written at any time. There can be an emergency and a national security situation where they just say, hey, we have to do this. And there's nothing that you're going to do about it, just like you've never done anything about any of the other things that they're doing right now, okay? Until you actually walk away. And that's what I'm saying. At some point, they're going to lay that CBDC crap down, and they're going to say there's going to be biometric compliance and all this wearable crap. You might have another offering on the table. You're going to have to say no at a certain point. You're going to have to say there is no amount of money that's going to be worth it, and that's going to be your final test. That's the seal of God versus mark of the beast. You're going to have to trust that there is a protection greater than the system, greater than this thing called money. It's been told.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Like touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all on chips. I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is that I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in. And from there, I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future. Install ingrain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go. In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
So right now we know that the system is already in place. So now they're setting it up, so this Genius Act and all of the Clarity Act is going into this new financial system, this new digital infrastructure, which in fact is going to be total control. And one thing about it, it's going to line up perfectly with Revelations chapter 13, what the men of the Lord constantly been warning you about. You still think that this is a game, but all the game's about to be over. This devil is getting ready to roll out this system. He's getting ready to try to get that advantage. And we're seeing it happening right before our eyes. And the men of the Lord, we're constantly sighing and crying, warning you left and right, to return to your true power while you still have time. And one thing about the Lord is getting ready to bring forth judgment like we have never seen before. So now, we start here first, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3, straight to the point lesson, because it's very obvious and clear that we're here. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3 said, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So right now we're seeing that these events are fast approaching. They're speaking loud and clear. The visions, the signs of the time, the prophecies right now, they're lining up just like clockwork, just like the prophets of old said. They're saying it right now. So we know that the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So one thing about it, if you was a prophet back then, you're a prophet right now. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, there's no new thing under the sun. And we're seeing right now, these things are happening just like clockwork. It is speaking loud and clear. Things are lining up. Our salvation is at the door. And also we know that Motb is fast approaching, the hour of temptation, the hour of testing. That's what we're constantly warning you about. Left and right is about to get real. You're getting ready to make a decision. Everyone on the planet is getting ready to be a global event. And one thing about it, is everyone is getting ready to be tried. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we already know the elect is going to make it out of here. We will not bend a foe, even in death. The Lord said he will give us a crown of life. So that's what we're looking forward to, that new body, it's immortality, rulership, spiritual power. It is right around the corner. And also the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It is fast approaching. We're here. That's reading NLT said, the vision is for a future time. The visions are the prophecies are the signs of the time. So it describes the end and it will be fulfilled. So all things are what is being fulfilled. We are very close to that said measure. Say, if it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not delay. So right now, these prophecies are not delaying. They're not slowing down. Even though, the Lord is long suffering, and merciful, but now the Lord is getting ready to what? To make it good. Everyone's getting ready to know perfectly clear what time that we're living in. It ain't going to be no more vain divination, all this, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. We really don't give a damn. The Lord is rolling it out right before our eyes. The end is being manifest. It's being what? Revealed. It's obvious and clear that we're living in the last days. And one thing about we know that this red devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So now, let's go to the meat of the lesson. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 3, because this is where we are at. Whether you were here or whether you will forbear. Let's go straight to the meat. Let's go here. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it that, hey, even though we'll sound like a broken record, but you going to wish like hell when this time of trouble come. It already said in Proverbs chapter 1, they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Because what? When the Lord called, you did not answer. Right now, it's time to seek the Lord, because one thing about it, we are running out of time. Time is speeding up. The Lord is bringing it to a close and get ready to what? To usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in right. We are so very excited. Verse 15, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15 said, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and call that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we coming upon that time. And out about we already knowing the image of the beast is this what? It's this system, that they are putting into place, this new 5G blockchain, this Genius and Clarity Act. All this is going to work hand in hand with the CBDC and also the RFD microchip. And everybody he had power, which in fact the WEF, also the WHO, and all these members of Congress and all these ones, these global elites, these financial bankers, that they're putting these things into play. This is their main objective, is to help everyone on the planet. And out about it right now, we're seeing right now that the beast, which in fact is the revised Roman Empire, that system is the NWO. They're constantly putting it into play. Now, if you do not accept, if you do not comply, accept or be a part of this new system, it says here, and that it said as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we coming upon that time. That's why they already have these guillotines into place. They have this, what you call this, alligator Alcatraz. Also, they building other facilities around America and also around the world. These 5 million cities, these guillotines, these places where a lot of people going to go in and they're not going to return. We constantly warn you about it left and right. Verse 16 says, and he causes all both, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, the charagma, in their right hand or in their forehead. So we're seeing right now, this system is already here. It's going into the RFD microchip. That CBDC, it's just going to be your new money that's going to go under your skin. You will not be able to make any type of transaction without having this under your skin. Also, that forehead is going into that neural link, those lying wonders. So we're seeing that the mystery of iniquity do us already work. He will let until he be taken out the way. So Lord, he at that particular time that he's getting ready to try to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan, put this system into place. But one thing about the men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you left and right. His hands will not be able to perform his enterprise. So right here, let's read it once again. It says, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to charagma, that grain of rice, the RFD microchip, the CBDC, gonna work hand in hand with this. He said, in their right hand or in their forehead. So the Neuralink, we already seeing that new brain computer interface. It's already in place. Everything, the stage is set. So right here, it says both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond. So this talk about it's gonna be what? Globally. Everyone on the planet is getting ready to be tried. The hour of testing, the hour of temptation. We are very close to that. Verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark to charagma, the grain of rice, so or the name of the beast or the number of his name, or being a part of this system. This is going to be dealing with your buying and selling, dealing with barcodes, dealing with QR codes, scanning and tracking, surveillance. That's what we constantly warning you about. The biometric, dealing with face recognition, iris scan, scanning your eyes, palm scanning. All these things are coming into play. That's what we're constantly warning you about, tracking and tacking. Also, we already know knowing about this new system that they get ready to put into place, which in fact what Palantir, look that up. So this is a part of this system, which in fact it goes into what Big Brother is watching. You know what I'm saying? That's why the men of the Lord are signed into play. You know what I'm saying? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. He can put them into place right before your eye. And a lot of our people are sleeping. So you will not be able to do anything unless you take it under the skin. It's going to be digital, programmable, also implantable. That's what we're constantly warning you about. See, it is at the door. All they have to do is implement it. So it's getting ready to make an announcement maybe before this year is out. They getting ready to roll it out. We already know what happened in 2020 that, those were test runs. Also, we know about those hokey pokey. A lot of people got a lot of those, in their shoulders, in their elbows. You understand what I'm saying? They took the juicy juice. And one thing about, make themselves a walking device. Also look up the internet of bodies, you know what I'm saying? So you'll be a part of this system. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people already has that digital download in them already from 2020, if you understand what I'm saying. Verse 18 says, here's wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 600, 300, and 666. So one thing about it's going into this man's system, you know what I'm saying? Buying and selling, they says here's wisdom. Let him who has understanding count the number of the beast. Who has that understanding? You know what I'm saying? The prudent man, the wise man, starting with the prophet, also the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And one thing about it, we know we're not ignorant of his devices, his mindset, his agenda, his plan, this system that he's putting into place. That's what we constantly warn you left and right. And also that 666 goes in tri-style stigma, which in fact is a badge of servitude. He wants to mark and brand you, you know what I'm saying? Put this branding on you, put you under subjection under him. And one thing about it, when the Lord said, do not take it. If you take it, you would have to suffer the second death. So that's where we at now. So they constantly rolling the system out right before your eye, this beast banking system, which is going to be pushed by this blockchain technology. That's what we're constantly warning you about, left and right. It is here. It is at the door. The stage is set. All things are ready. So now, let's go here to Revelation chapter 14. We'll close out in a minute. We'll get one more. Revelation chapter 14 at verse 9. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. So this would be the penalty. If you take it under the skin, you would have to suffer the second death. What is the second death? Which in fact, is the what? America. And what is the lake of fire? Is America. You know what I'm saying? Which in fact is the second death. So like, I hope I ain't confusing no one with that. So we already knowing that, you know what I'm saying, at a certain point of time, America will be totally destroyed with those IBCM missiles, and it will become a lake of fire, which in fact is the second death. That if you take this under the skin, this is what you are going to have to suffer. So let's go here. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, say, receive his mark in his forehead or on his hand, be a part of this system. You know what I'm saying? This, that grain of rice, if you have it on you, if you consent, you comply. Verse 10 said, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of the Almighty, which poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation or his righteous anger, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, say, in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11 says, and the smoke of their torment as ascended up forever and forever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. So you see, it's a penalty. Verse 12, it said, here is wisdom. Salaki. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Almighty and the faith of Yahushua HaMashiach. So right here, I just read a little bit more of that. So if you take this mark, you are going to have to suffer that second death, that, you know what I'm saying, torment with fire and brimstone. You know what I'm saying? Which in fact, the lake of fire will be America. So right here, now things are getting ready to get very, very critical. And one thing about it, you get ready to make a decision whether you believe or not. It's getting ready to be a global event that we have never seen before. The hour of temptation, fast approach. Digital IDs, it's coming down to your identity. It's coming down to surveillance, coming down to tracking and tagging. You already know that what that devil said. I can't think his name. It used to be the head CEO of the WEF. He said, "You will own nothing and be happy." So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. We'll close out here. So now people are beginning to see that these prophets were telling them the truth, because these prophecies are lining up just like clockwork. And the Bible is a true book, whether you were here or whether you will forbear. So now these things are coming to pass. These prophecies, the signs of the time, is speaking right now. It's not lying anymore. We're here. It's at the door. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33, it says here, when this cometh to pass, these prophecies, the signs of the time, lo, it will come. It's coming right now. It's not lying. It's not tearing. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. So you get ready to find out that the men that you were scoffing and mock, the one that you saying they are crazy, they're teaching hate speech. You're going to find out that they were telling you the truth. They were telling you to return to your true power. Who is I'm talking about? I'm talking about the so-called people of color, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indians. I'm talking to you. It's time to return to your true power while you still have time. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to bring this nightmare to a close. Judgment is now at hand. And one thing about it, it's going to constantly pick up. The Lord is, has his eyes upon that sinful kingdom, which is America, Babylon the Great. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. And also he's getting ready to destroy these two-thirds, these wicked Negroes, these wicked Latinos, the wicked Native Indians, the one that constantly, relaxing in their leads. And one thing about it, we're coming upon a great economic collapse, the end of the dollar. The end of the dollar is the end of America. So we're seeing it right now taking place right before our eyes. They're putting this system into place. Whereby it's going to make you out of a petrol slave. Who are you going to trust? You going to trust in this system, or trust in the strength of Egypt and be totally destroyed? Or you going to trust in your true power, which in fact is Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is the Genius Act, one step closer to the Motb. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.